Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. As you can hear and see, it's myself, Adam. Joined as always on the Wheels of Steel is John.
Hello, people.
And of course Danny.
Hey.
And of course, no Tom. So there you go. Business as usual.
Poor Tom.
Starting the year strong.
I have to
Although
see.
He has had some pretty shitty luck lately.
I have to see where the. You know what? We need a Tom watch, like a little
Tom watch,
a little counter to
like
tell us
like
how many
watch?
appearances. No, a little counter that we have how many appearances Tom has had so far this year. I think he's at 2.
Why gotta be so hateful?
Well, how is that hateful? I'm just keeping tabs.
Speaking truth.
I think he's at 2. So that's 2, and we're like a quarter into the year already.
Whoo boy!
Don't remind me.
We're only 2 into the year.
No, quarter into.
Well, yeah, March. Yeah,
we're only a quarter into the year.
Only.
Oh man, I don't want to be a quarter into the year. Can it be more than a quarter into the year?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Please. You sure about that? I'm not sure about that.
So, hold on 1 second. So Tom's not here. So it should be a good show. Plenty to talk
so
about.
far.
Rude. Just rude.
How was Cherokee, Adam?
I'm gonna blame my jet lag.
Jet lag. You got home like 10 days ago. I can't blame jet lag.
This from the man that thought we did a show last week.
Hey, I got a lot of shit
Busy
going
man.
on. I'm a busy guy.
So how was Cherokee, Adam?
Yeah. So this past weekend was, among other events, it was Cherokee Open. We had 200 and I believe 70 tickets sold for 40K. 267, I think it was, checked in with their little code or whatever. I forget, key code. Whatever the
magical key codes.
Whatever the kids say today. And then
it's Mad Cap, yo.
And we started the tournament with 259.
Okay, so continuing the trend of low attrition.
Yeah,
what's with everybody showing up to play these events?
I think it's like a 5%.
What is it with all you people showing up to play tournaments?
And that's basically almost 60 more players than we had last year. We had how many were for AOS? It was a lot for AOS. I don't remember how many because I wasn't keeping count.
No, that's outside of your job description, so that makes sense.
Then there was also Song of Ice and Fire, MCP, Armada, X-Wing, Legion, and I believe that was it for the weekend.
Still a decent amount of events.
Yeah, we're still doing with Cherokee. We still do the 3 days. So first 2 days were the 6 rounds. Day 3 was the top 8 plus the RTT, the single elimination. Yeah, Kiara Quinn is correct because going to Cherokee costs real money because it's kind of out of the way. So
yeah, that's true.
Which is why everyone shows up.
Yeah. Like, I can't cancel on this. Jesus.
Yeah. So to get there, I have to I fly into Atlanta. There's 2 airports you can fly into, Atlanta.
I think it's still cheaper than the U.S. Opens, though, isn't it?
Leaving the GW one?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, they're expensive because they're like, I mean, they just are. Like, everybody knows that. It's not a knock. I'm just saying.
Well, when I went to the GW one, it was like a resort, not like a hotel or a casino. It was like a resort.
They tend to be at more expensive, more upscale locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
GW's
like,
close.
I had to fly into Atlanta, which I did last year, and then Seth from Signals, if everyone's familiar, picked me up, him and his wife. And,
Kicker didn't pick you up this time?
No. Kicker
How
had
rude.
to get there before before us.
Uh-huh.
So, on the way there, I had mentioned that I wanted to eat at a Waffle House. So we ended up stopping by a Waffle House and getting something to eat.
Boy. Oh, boy.
It was fine.
Waffle House is delicious.
Look it. I'm not going to sing the praises apparently that Anthony Bourdain does because I don't, but
Anthony Bourdain did. Did.
All right, Jesus.
Done
Okay.
did.
Look,
But
it's going to be one of those shows, okay?
And I just got the basic waffles, toast, hash browns, and I got them plain or scattered. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. There's a special menu for ordering the hash browns, which I guess is a thing. And the waffles were okay. Actually, I did like the waffles. There's a sweetness to the batter that I can't quite place. That I actually did enjoy. So,
I mean, it's probably just crack, right? Heroin in the pancake mix.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Fentanyl. I don't know. Whatever the kids are into.
But yeah,
God,
as KR Quinn says,
Jesus.
we weren't there at 3 a.m, so we didn't see any action.
Yeah, no.
But it was.
I mean, you also
was,
could have started your own action.
Could have. Would have.
I could have, but
No, you don't want to mess with Waffle
I don't
House
think I
employees.
would in that area that I was in.
They
Leave it
catch
at that.
chairs mid-throw.
Yeah, Waffle House employees can throw hands. It's like a condition of working there.
On the job description, can throw hands? Yes or no?
Yes, no.
So I ate at the Waffle House. So that's on my checklist. The next thing is to go to a Buc-ee's.
Oh, Buc-ee's is cool.
Yeah. So we tried to go, but we went down the wrong freeway, so we missed out. So maybe next time.
I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Although we did see, they did point out the competitors to Waffle House, which I found hilarious, which is called Huddle House. I don't know why it's called that.
Huddle house?
Huddle, yes. I saw a few of them on the way.
Like a football huddle?
That it's spelled exactly like that. Huddle, Huddle.
But why?
He said it's not as good. But I can see why.
I'm confused. Please elaborate.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look it up to find the naming, so, or why it was named that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird. So
other than Waffle House,
You
so
didn't
stopped
get
at
to
the
see a
Waffle House.
fight.
Got in about early afternoon. And then just started shaking hands
Drinking.
and seeing everybody that was there. I did try the moonshine that was there, and like I said in our chat, it actually I could feel it hit me about a half hour after I drank it. It's a different hit than what I'm used to.
I would imagine.
So, so over the course of the weekend, it was fine. I still getting a lot of questions about the Yin Karn.
Why?
And essentially, especially how it interacts with Omni Scramblers.
Well, there's a lot more Marines, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, what the Incarn does when something dies, it is destroyed, not from morale, because that was asked also. It can basically teleport to wherever that unit died, within an inch of wherever that unit died.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And Omni Scramblers basically doesn't allow deep strike within 12 inches instead of the normal 9.
Strategic reserves, deep strike. Like, what's the wording? There's no deep strike.
I'd have to look at it, but it's essentially it's the same rule like for GSC or anything else that redeploys. So we ruled that it does affect the Yin Karn. So basically.
Interesting.
I'm just going with what I'm told.
Sure. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care. I don't play Yin Karn. Should I be doing that? Is that why I keep losing with Eldar?
Nah, that might be a traitor.
It's operating. That's the I'm not playing the 50 Deathwing Terminators I own error.
You should, yeah.
Apparently I should.
See if you can get
Keep
it
going.
on
We'll find out
Tuesday.
why, Adam. Keep going. Keep talking and we'll find out why I should be switching armies.
So that was one of the questions we kept on getting. Another one had to do with fight first, fight last, per usual.
As always. Yep.
But other than that,
It's almost like those rules.
there was a table or two that we had issues with players not agreeing on their scores.
Did both players keep their score?
Yes,
Good.
but it didn't appear that they authenticated their scores. You know what I mean?
Hey, I have this for me this turn. Cool.
Yeah, I don't
Next
think
turn.
they did
I
that.
have this for me this turn. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think you scored that. I literally said out loud that I scored that. Well, I mean,
And it wasn't just one game. It was a couple games where that happened.
I mean, I guess if I say cool, that means I agree, but I don't know if I agree that I agree if I say cool.
I think it's almost like when people read an army list where they don't really read it, they just nod their head and say okay.
Yep.
I think that's part of it.
100%, Adam.
But whatever, a baby step.
I don't think I've ever agreed with you more in my life.
At least they're agreeing. Now they just have to actually look at the the scores. So baby steps.
I don't know if that's how that works. Hey, guy, my army gets to do things too.
Yeah, so we had that. Trying to think of what else we had. I don't think there was anything else too major in regards to some rulings. There was issues with... Oh, we did talk about Angron a little bit. I did allow the players who took Angron to choose what aura is in effect while he is off the board. And that's based off a Goonhammer article, as well as talking to a couple of other people about it.
What's Goonhammer?
Some of the chats that I'm in. And basically what it boils down to is, or the way I see it, is that Angron has essentially 3 auras that are basically, to me, the way I describe it, active, and you just choose which one you want to use. As opposed to having to pick a unit, which is normally the case, and why you usually can't do that when a unit is in Deep Strike.
Cool. Whatever you say, man.
So
It makes Angron better, fine with me.
Is it game breakingly good?
no, because he
who cares?
doesn't have a wound cap. He starts off with 8 wounds when he comes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I like World Eaters. They're cool. They're very flavorful. The army plays the way I think it should play, which is nice. I don't think they're super crazy overpowered, so this is a minor boost to their ability. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Especially because the best World Eaters build doesn't use Angron, so...
That's true. It uses the Invocator or whatever.
Invocatus.
according to you, Danny,
Isn't that what I said?
Mm-hmm.
the top world eater had an Angron in it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think did any. Well, there was one person who had the.
There was, I
Invoc
think,
right?
1 or 2 maybe that didn't take Angron.
And they
Right.
took an Invocator.
Well, the one that came in 13th or whatever, I think had both. I can't remember.
Yeah, both's going to be common.
No, he had both, and he had the extra. He also had a Chaos Lord on Juggernaut.
I can see that. I mean,
He told me
They can do that.
if he told me he would drop it for something else. I think for Master of Execution.
Drop Angron?
No,
No,
drop
the-
the second Chaos Lord.
Oh.
Keep Lord Avocado and drop the second Chaos Lord.
Okay, Lord Avocado is brilliant. Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, that's what most people are
Amazing.
calling him.
Lord Avocado. Awesome. Sold. Print.
Yeah, so day one went without, not too many big issues. Day two, as always, gets a little chippier for some people because they get it more invested in how their game goes.
Sure, sure. We can go with invested. That works.
We did have an issue on day 2 where it brought to my attention that someone's list was illegal, and it did affect the score for one of the players because both players were in contention for top 8. And at first, I had penalized the player with the illegal list and flipped the scores before I did pairings. Well, I flipped the scores, and then when I talked to the player in question, he said it didn't really affect how the results, and so he asked me to just flip it back because it wouldn't have mattered, and so I just flipped it back. If the player says, I just have to trust what the players tell me.
What was the record of each player? 1-1, 2-2.
They were both at
0-4?
the time they played each other. They were both 2-0. They're both undefeated.
Oh, okay, so it did matter.
Yeah, yes.
These stories are way better when you get to the table and the people are heated, and they're like 0-3.
Well, one of the ones where I told you they were arguing over the score, both players were 2-2.
Nice.
So,
And they're fighting for that positive record.
You know, honestly, we make jokes, but like you're allowed to care about your game.
You are.
true.
You're allowed to care about the outcome of your game.
Some of the other ones were a bit more. Players were a bit more invested. They were like either 2-0 or 3-0, or X1. You know, at some point. So, but it wasn't too bad. So that was resolved fairly quickly. Actually, it wasn't something that dragged on for too long.
Nice. That's always good.
That was really the only other issue during the weekend. Nothing else really too dramatic. I mean, there's some other issues, but we can talk about it at the end because it's more general issues as opposed to specific. Going into day 3 with the top 8, it was a good mix of armies in general. You had 2 Dark Angel armies, Space Wolves, Iron Hands, Guard, Custodes, Votan, and finally Necrons. And the Necron one is the one a lot of people were talking about because of Arcs of Omen. It was 3 Monoliths and 3 Obelisks.
Oh my.
Hilarity.
And then add some other Scarabs.
Sure, why not?
Necron Lord.
What a hero. That's all I have to say.
And the Scorpic. The guys with the giant blades.
The Scorpic Lords.
Is it Scorpic Destroyers?
Yeah.
I think that's
this
what
guy's
it
name
is.
wasn't Alex Fennel?
No, they weren't pink.
They weren't pink?
No.
It's disappointing. Reality is often disappointing, Adam.
So basically, he literally steamrolled his opponents because the army just kind of trundles forward and just asked the question: can you kill 6 toughness 8 models that heal a wound every turn and are at least 24 wounds per?
Or can you just outlast and outscore me on secondaries, which is probably what happened why he didn't win, right?
Well, he went undefeated going into the top 8.
Yeah, but then the top 8, he probably ran into an army that just didn't have to kill him.
Yes. Yeah, he ran into John Lennon, who took Iron Hands with 3 gladiators. Okay. Basically, as much shooting as possible.
Yeah.
And so what John did was because his player placed terrain, he placed the terrain in such a way that he could hide like 90% of his army because the Necron, those big models do need line of sight to shoot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And you can't kill what you can't see.
Correct.
And Lennon, I believe, went first. Lennon did go first, and he proceeded to kill at least 1 large model per turn.
Yeah.
I think by turn 3 he killed 2 of them, and by turn 5 he just had the 1 obelisk left, and that died.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That sounds right.
So it was a good run though, because I know everyone was excited to see it. I think he's on 2 recorded games that are gonna go up on War Games Live. Because what Joe did, and for those that didn't know, War Games Live was the one that was doing the stream. He had the stream table, and then he had a second table that was just recording that second game. It wasn't streamed. It was just going to be a game Joe put up on his YouTube channel afterwards.
Oh, that's cool.
So it gives them
Are
more
any
content.
of these models available on GamesWorkshop.com? Necron, what is it? Monoliths? And what's the other thing? Necron.
It's an obelisk. You're probably too late, John. You should have bought them that Friday, or when people first saw them.
Bought them that day.
I mean, until like 4 months when you can't play that list anymore.
Yeah, I'm not being serious. Not at all.
They'll be great. They'll be great.
I'm not actually seriously looking this up.
All right. So that's what happened with the Necrons. Thomas Bird and the players were Walter Langendorf, which was the Necron, Stephen Corrales, which is a local from our area, and he was playing Dark Angels.
All right, SoCal.
Thomas Bird with the Votan, Jeremy Stan with the Custodes, Gabriel. I'm gonna butcher this name. Richelieu? No, it's R-O.
Richelieu?
No, Richelieu I can say because it's R-O.
I was getting excited.
Rockleu, maybe? I don't know. Sorry, Gabriel.
We apologize for making.
And then Brad Chester, John Lennon, and Stephen Crowley. So Chester brought Wolves, Lennon had Iron Hands, Crowley had Deathwing, and literally like 30 Deathwing Terminators. Gabriel had Astra Militarum. Astra Militarum played against Stephen Corrales and was able to win by a point. Stephen said the one big mistake was he left Gabriel some space to drop his Casterkin to do the mortal wound bomb.
Yeah, I was watching that live.
That killed a character for assassinate, and that was basically the game.
Lots of people watching that game live were like, "No, what are you doing? Don't put those models there."
Thomas Bird lost to Brad Chester, and I said Walter lost to John Lennon, and then Stephen Crawley beat Jeremy Stan in the Custodes. The following round, the semifinals, Lennon lost to Crowley, I think it was. Yeah, because Brad beat Gabriel, because Brad was playing against Astra Militarum. And then those that watch in the final round, Brad Chester lost to Stephen Crowley, so Stephen won with his Deathwing, with his 30 Terminators. It was like, or 34, because it was 3 10-man, 2 2-man bodyguard units, a Ravenwing Apothecary on bike, Chaplain in Terminator armor. I think it was Azrael, Ezekiel.
Hold up, I'm pretty sure somebody posted
Master.
like a list just like that in our team Discord. Didn't somebody post a list just like this in our team Discord?
So shouldn't you be playing this at battle? Is what I'm saying.
We'll see. I really want to play the 30 Deathwing Terminators and 3 Helverins.
Oh my god!
Just because it seems very unnice.
Yeah.
And I'm not there to make friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations to Steven. It was really good seeing everyone, and Steven's son was there also to play. And I think he went 4-2. I think it was.
Nice.
So
pretty good.
Look at these children.
And Steven's a local. He said he's from Nashville, and he's from Tennessee. For those that don't know, the Cherokee Open is on the Cherokee Reservation, which is in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The venue's nice. The only thing about the venue is it's literally, the food court is literally on the other side of the casino, and it's a very long walk from where the games are being played to the casino or to the food court.
I mean, play nights. I mean, you got plenty of time to do what you want.
True. Mm-hmm. Or have friends that are willing to go get your food for you.
Wait, we're supposed to have friends?
Yeah.
I don't believe this. It sounds like communism.
I know.
Who put communism on my 40K town?
So it was like I said, it was a good event. We also handed out the pins for the first time, the faction pins for the
I'm jealous about that. I want faction
for the individual codexes. We didn't include all the codexes, so it's every codex except for Black Templar, Ultramarine, White Scars, Raven
Guard. So what I'm
Guard.
hearing is we need to cancel you for being racist.
Yeah, Iron Hand.
We'll see a trend here.
So a majority of the armies that got a codex got a pin, and people were really happy about
did you
getting
give a
pin.
Dark Angels pin?
Yes, we did.
But not a Black Templar pin?
No.
Is that because they're black?
Moving on.
I'm just saying. It seems a little racist.
There was one person who did not seem enthused about getting the faction pin, but everyone else seemed
who wasn't enthusiastic about getting a pin. How can you not like pins?
I don't know.
Even I like pins, and I don't like anything. We're talking about a guy who can't wait to have a lawn where I can yell for kids to get off it. I just need kids to be able to walk past my place so I can get off my lawn. And even I want a pin.
Yeah.
They were literally like, "Don't give me this."
No, he wasn't like, "Don't give me this," but it was more of a. I wasn't there, but from what I was told, it was more of a, "This is it," kind of thing. Like, this is all I get.
Oh.
So
yes, move on.
I went to North Carolina and all I got was this stinking shirt.
Yes.
Is that what it is? That's what it is, isn't it?
That's what it seemed like. So,
man, this show makes me not like people.
No, it's don't
more
blame
than I
us for
already
that.
don't like people.
Don't blame us for that.
So we gave out all the pins. Everyone seemed happy.
Want.
Not too many major issues. Actually, just not. Well, according to me, no major
You
issues.
sound very confident about this.
It depends. Some people think things that happen are a major issue. Maybe it's a major issue to them, but to me as a whole, it's not. Not at least. I guess I'm jaded because of the level of issues we've had over the years, considering the history of LVO and BCP. So it's just
yeah. I didn't hear about any issues, so
we did use a new metric for placings.
Yeah,
which was basically the OG. I think it's OGW percentage, the opponent game win percentage.
Yes.
And it took a while to explain to a lot of people, but from talking to a lot of people, they seem to be okay with it for the most part.
Once you explain how it works, most people are like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Well, especially when you explain the minimum number part of it, because a lot of people are used to strength of schedule, and this is more or less a modified strength of schedule metric.
It is superior to strength of schedule.
Yes. So for those that are familiar with strength of schedule, a lot of times if one of your opponents drops later in the tournament, it greatly affects your strength of schedule.
Oh yeah,
because they
tanks it.
Basically counts as a 0 for the rest of the tournament.
Even if you play somebody like round 1 and they are fucking trash, and they play terrible the rest of the event, it still affects them.
Yes. What the OGW does is it puts a base number, so the minimum number you can get is 33% from your opponents. It takes your opponent's win percentage and averages them out, and that's where you get your tiebreaker. And 33% is the minimum. So if either someone drops or if someone goes 1-6, which is 16%, it just bumps them up to 33%. So you don't get penalized.
And there's also no incentive for people to like try to max battle points. Like you don't have people who are like, "Oh, it's turn 2, 3. Hey man, you're probably gonna lose. Let's just talk it out. I'll give myself a 95, and you can have like a 70, right?"
Yeah,
does that sound cool, dude?
I don't think people have realized that part yet, but I think as more people use it, they'll start to realize that the battle points don't matter as much. Now, battle points is still a part of the tiebreaker, but it's like the third one.
Right.
Third one down. So
correct.
But so like a lot of people asked me about it, and then when I explained it, they seemed satisfied with it, and especially like I said earlier, Brad Chester lost in the finals. In the old system with battle points, he would sometimes drop from second, or actually he was in first at the time, I believe. No, he was in second.
First.
He would drop from his current placing down to like fourth or fifth, even though he was in the finals.
Yeah.
But now, because his opponent, because he has a strong opponent win percentage,
yes,
he stays at second place.
Yeah.
Because the only person he lost to came in first.
Was the winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense, and is more fair, and is more indicative of the reality of the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a much better metric for how people actually place and play than just straight battle point ranking, yes.
Yeah, so you'll probably see it. You should see it moving forward, because it seemed to work out fairly well. So,
yeah, the U.S. Open events have used it all last season, and there's a bunch of other events that have started to use it too. Because
I think a lot of events are steering away from just straight battle points.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, it moves along even more than before. So yeah. So that was good. Couple other things of note. We did not have. It was mostly new. Mostly newer terrain, especially because we didn't have as many tables as LVO.
Yeah, you can use all the newer stuff.
So I think the oldest. So there was no Robot City. There was. I don't believe there was Industrial, but there was still Field Base and the Orc Terrain. So it's getting there. Hopefully they can get it phased out by next LVO, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. One of the things that I noticed was some people I can tell asked me a lot of questions. Some people asked me questions about their opponent's army. I did have to talk to a few people about their rules, or just ask about their rules in terms of because some people weren't sure about, hey, is this how it works? And so I just went to ask. I was almost like a go between, because some people didn't really want to ask.
They didn't want the confrontation.
Yeah, and I get it, and I don't mind asking because And
was it like a bunch of newer players too? I find that
like a couple of them were like, "This is my first tournament, and I wasn't sure about this, but I didn't want to ask." So they wait till after the tournament. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, they were just wanting to be sure, because it's one of those things where it's like they tell their friends, and their friends are like, "Well, they can't do that," and then you find out they can. It's just called something different in their codex as opposed to what people are normally used to.
Yeah,
or the rule is slightly different in their codex, where they're able to use it, while in another codex they can't use it. So, the other thing that came up, we did have a lot more women playing 40K than in the past, at least from last year's Cherokee. We did have an issue with We did have an issue with some of the players not being. Basically not being good opponents to the female gamers, as far as I can tell.
Well, that's not cool.
Jesus.
Did you throw them out?
No, because I didn't find out till after the event, as always.
Oh, jeez, of course.
Yeah. So, this is our after-event reminder to everyone.
Did you write down their names?
No, because they wouldn't. I didn't find. I found out like secondhand, so I don't know. I didn't talk to them directly, but I trust the person who told me about it, that they're telling the truth. So I probably could have found out, but I'm not.
But I 100% don't have a list of names of people that I keep track of. So.
Right.
But just the after tournament reminder of for everyone just to be cool. And more importantly, for people to men or women, doesn't matter who you are, to be sure to, one, advocate for yourself, and two, don't be afraid to call a judge over. It doesn't. they may word it like that you're being a dick or being a jerk for calling a judge over, but you're really not. You're just
nope.
In all honesty, it's the case is you probably just want clarification on how something works, or does something work, because maybe your opponent doesn't understand how it works, and then maybe they've been playing it wrong this whole time. Because you are getting a lot of people that play in different metas in different areas, and they may play things a little differently than how Frontline sees the game being played, or at least because I'm usually the judge for it.
So I was, ironically enough, I had a very similar conversation along these lines over the weekend, Adam, where
really?
We were discussing how the Age of Sigmar event at LVO had a lot of women playing.
Yes,
like a sizable enough number that you're like, oh wow, that is like a good chunk of the field, right?
Yes,
and you don't have the same for 40K.
No.
And this person and I were discussing the potential reasons why. And so, you have the basics of like, well, the Age of Sigmar color palette is better, right?
Yeah.
And so the color palette is something that might draw people in more because it's not as dark and drab. The setting is not grimdark. The setting is fantasy, right? So it's slightly different. But the other thing is, Games Workshop blew up the old world.
Yeah.
And a lot of the...
Grognards.
How should I put this delicately? Personalities who would be the gatekeepers of that particular part of the hobby left because they were mad. Right? So you don't have these gatekeeping assholes playing Age of Sigmar because they left. And we don't have something like that for 40K. And so with 40K, we get more females playing as the base grows larger, and it simply dilutes the number of these people that are jerks. Whereas in Age of Sigmar, it's diluted because they literally all left, or lots of them left.
Also, right? I mean, I think there's two other factors in that. One is that Age of Sigmar has a much more diverse model range on multiple levels. Like aesthetically, wood elves look different than the high elves, that look different than the vampires, which look different than the ghouls, which that's fucking Sky Dwarfs. And part of that diversity too is that female representation is in almost every faction.
Yeah.
Right. Like even the poster children, the Stormcast, have a lot of female representation. And I think that does draw people in when they're like, "Oh, this chick's badass." She looks. I want to look like her, etc. And then also, like, from talking with Dayton, some of the other Age of Sigmar people, a lot of the higher level or more prominent Age of Sigmar personalities actively work to get people who would be problematic to a female player out of the game. Right, like they actually, as a community, police themselves much more, right, and are much more vocal about going after people who have, documented, documented issues with playing women or whoever that they have problems with. So, I think that's something else that makes that even more why that game draws a much more diverse player base when it comes to women and gender. Like and it's very noticeable. Like at LVO, that it's not like, oh, there's like, it's like, oh my god, there's like 2 girls playing. It's like, no, there's 30
like a third of the field.
No, it's not quite there, but there are like 30. There are like 30, 40 women players at least, which is way more than any 40K tournaments had, which was way more than we had. Despite, I mean, hell, that might actually honestly be more than we've ever had total at LVO of unique women players in the 40K
for the Games Workshop games. Yes, I don't know what it's like in the other halls, so I can't.
Yeah, the other, like Malifaux had that too. Malifaux had a very high female population compared to other games, like very, very high.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it was kind of disappointing to hear, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just and like I said, just not anybody, not male or female or
whatever.
Whatever. If there's any issues for whatever reason, call a judge. Whether it's rules, someone's acting like. I mean, I remember one LVO being called over because a guy was being a jerk to a female player, and she called the judge over.
I remember that.
To have it taken care of. And I know people want to be cool or be nice and don't want to be seen as a problem person or problem player. But sometimes you have to do that. You can't take the abuse, for lack of a better term, from someone, just because you don't want to be a jerk. Because sometimes you have to be, or call someone in, like myself or whatever judge, and the judge can be the jerk.
See,
for policing. That's part of the thing.
This is for everybody. It's literally for everybody. Is that you are not responsible for other people's emotional states. Right, like if you call a judge, which is you're well within your right to do, if your opponent gets mad at them, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Yeah. Right, like you cannot take responsibility for other people's emotional states. Like you just can't. So if you are feeling like, hey, I think this person is being, unsporting, or this person's making me uncomfortable, or this person I don't think understands their rules, or this person is playing rules wrong. If they get mad because you ask for someone to come in and help clarify the situation, that's a them problem, right? That's that's literally a reflection upon who they are, not you, right? So like, don't be shy about it.
Yeah.
It's just you have to advocate for yourself, and you can't worry that like, oh my god, this person's going to get mad at me. Like if they get mad at you, that's them. That's a them problem, not a you problem, right? The same way if you get mad at somebody, that's a you problem. Right,
yeah, John.
I don't get mad at people. What are you talking about?
John likes to pretend he's mad.
We've discussed this before, like especially at games. In game, I am extraordinarily calm, placid. I can have lost the game at the top of turn 1 and go, okay, cool, my turn.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we spend that night figuring out if that guy is over points. By counting his list 3 times.
Yeah, but that's just us in a room, and we're all like, there's no way that guy's list is not over points. And we all do the math 18 times and go, all right, fine. And we go to sleep. It's fine. I'm not, standing at the table telling this woman she shouldn't be playing Warhammer because she's a woman.
Of the Space Marine Battle Company.
The free
Battle
points.
Company free.
Yeah, it was Battle Company.
Yeah.
And we're just in Battle Company 2.0.
Every Space Marine list in the world felt like it was over points by 800 points because it was.
Yeah. Well, yes. And now we're back to that.
Yay!
Maybe not as many points, but the sentiment's there.
Do we all see how the wheel turns?
Yes. So be nice, everybody. Don't make me have to come to your table.
Or don't, and let me kick you out.
Yeah, well, no, it's just one of those things of like, if invite me over to your table if you're not sure, just or if your opponent's being a jerk. But yeah, don't. Again, I just say it's very simple. Roll dice and be nice to each other, right? Like play games and be nice. It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, all I think about is the study that was done about video gamers and how they react to a female voice versus a male voice, and high-performing players, so players who are doing well at the game. I think they did this with Call of Duty. High-performing players treated female voices with kindness, respect, and would offer tips if they weren't doing well, while low-performing gamers, particularly men, low-performing gamers who are struggling would be the harshest towards and the most aggressive towards the female voice.
No, that can't be right, Danny. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. That doesn't sound like it's true at all to what I've experienced every time I've logged in and had a female playing with me.
I mean, speaking of this, there was a person who would absolutely do this, in the Warhammer community. I think it's a brother. It's like Brother Grimm something, but he's like some person, like 40K personality, but he's got some very interesting views, to put it that way. But like he had this whole rant about essentially women want too much for men. It's like this basic things of like, they want him to be 6 foot tall and, make 100K, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, this guy's just mad because women have standards and he can't meet them. Right? Like, it's just literally like, wow, you just real mad, bro, because like you suck and women aren't forced to have to deal with that anymore. Man, I feel bad for you, bro. Like, that's rough, dog.
Maybe if your personality wasn't heinous and an affront to humanity.
Well, I mean, that's the whole logic. People being like, gamer girls or geek girls didn't exist when I was a kid. They're all tourists. They're all blah, blah, blah. It's like, I get why you feel that way, because which is not true. There, have always been women. Yes. Yeah, there's always been women in geek spaces. Always. It's just, the reality is of like, you need this illusion of people don't like you for your hobbies because they're quote unquote geeky, rather than deal the harsh truth of people don't like you because you're an asshole. Right? Like, that's just what it is.
It's true. I've had to deal with people not like me because I'm an asshole my whole life. I just came to terms with the guy. It's called therapy.
You just embraced it. Yeah, you just embraced it.
Go to therapy and be like, I'm not going to change.
Yeah. You can't make me change.
But I accept that people don't like me for this reason.
Yeah, well, how nice of you, John.
None of that's true, by the way, everybody. Don't go quoting that on Twitter. But you can't do because it currently is not working.
Yep.
I wouldn't know. I don't Twitter. Yeah, so that was the event. Got home late at night. So it was all fun and games.
I really want to go next year.
I enjoy going every year.
We're an hour in this show. You're still talking about fucking Cherokee Open?
Yeah. We don't have anything else to talk about.
It's true.
There's nothing else going on.
It's true.
It was fun. It was a fun event. I plan to go back next year. So,
as a player or as a judge?
A judge. I forgot to talk about the food. So, hopefully, I don't think Kicker listens to the show, so I'm going to talk about the food.
He does.
My experience. Now, I do have a different perspective. So this might affect my
California, and the food is better here.
Well, the first day was fine because they had barbecue, pulled pork, barbecue chicken sandwiches.
Sounds good.
That was okay. I just couldn't have too much
Santa
of it.
Maria tri-tip.
They did not have tri-tip,
mm.
But it was fine. I just couldn't have too much of it because diabetic. Blah blah blah. Second night was taco night.
Oh God.
Nobody outside of California should be allowed to do taco night.
No, Texas can do taco night.
No, can't.
New Mexico can do taco night.
Maybe.
So the first thing I see was lettuce, tomato, cheese, avocado, and sour cream.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, it's not. Okay.
I see.
Continue.
I see soft shell.
Okay.
But it's flour.
What?
Yeah, this is our West Coast showing right now.
I'll actually be Mexican showing.
This isn't a
well for me and you, maybe not John.
Yeah. Or maybe John. Even Mexican, I know that the Mexican influence shells need to be corn tortillas. Even if you're gonna fry them, they should still be corn.
So, and then the meat was not asada. I don't know what it was.
But is it ground beef? I mean,
it wasn't ground beef. No. At least it wasn't.
Okay, well, that's something.
However, they put a ton of what Mike, who helps set up the secondhand shop and all the terrain and stuff, drives the truck. Mike said they basically just put a ton of taco seasoning. The El Paso
Lowry's taco seasoning.
Yeah. So, and that's the only way I could describe it. It was a lot of seasoning, and I couldn't finish it. I think I ate one maybe, and then took maybe 2 bites out of another one, and I was done.
Oh, there you go. That's how I save money.
The Lowry's taco seasoning is fine. It's fine.
It's fine,
but there's better ways to make it.
It's not the fact that they put the seasoning. I don't mind that. It's the fact that they put too much of it. They drowned it.
I mean, yeah, you can't do that. You can't overdo it. That's for sure.
You can tell it was... well, for me, I'm going to say for me. I don't know about anybody else's experience with the food. I can only speak for myself. And it was a bit much.
Look, I'm just saying... Taco night shouldn't be done outside of California and maybe Mexico.
Could you be done out of the Southwest, Southeast?
And by California, I mean Southern California and Mexico.
So again, there's plenty of interesting different ways to do tacos, but yes, I'm generally
so diplomatic about it.
Well, because I've eaten a lot of tacos, bro, in a lot of places, and there are regional differences, and they should be celebrated. But
yes, should they?
Yes, there's lots of fine tacos, but the tacos that are being described to me do not sound that way. They sound, it sounds like an imitation of someone who has heard of tacos.
There are a lot of fine tacos. I've known great tacos.
Yeah. Some of my best friends are tacos.
Some of my best friends are tacos.
I'm just saying, maybe we should all stay away from each other. The tacos and burritos should just stay away from each other.
Maybe some tacos shouldn't cross the border, is all I'm saying.
Oh my god. So
but yeah, that's I remember last year where Kicker was asking us when Cherokee was brand new of like, hey guys, what do you think for dinner options? And like, people were really voting for taco night. I'm like, don't do taco night, dude. Do breakfast for dinner. Do something else.
So I give barbecue night thumbs up, taco night.
Probable boo.
As a Mexican, I give it a thumbs down. Someone did ask me if I was Puerto Rican.
Well,
which is a fair question, actually.
Yeah.
Considering the area I was in.
Mm-hmm. Kara Quinn, did you literally just quote New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado versus Northern California? Yeah, I said Southern California, dude. I literally took Northern California out of the equation on purpose.
Yeah.
Depends what we define as NorCal.
Oh yeah.
Anything outside of
no, that's a whole nother
with San Gabriel Mountain
in
range?
California.
No. If you don't live in the LA basin, you don't get to have tacos.
No, there's plenty
San
of good
Diego's
tacos.
got good tacos.
There's plenty of good tacos in the Central
California
Valley.
has a lot.
Yeah, the San Joaquin Valley has plenty of good tacos, bro.
Sure, but you've got to go to the hole-in-wall places that know how to make it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
so
that's generally true even here in LA.
Yeah, but you got to know how to find it, and so most people don't know how to find it.
Mm.
As an Oregonian, I consider Northern California to be the northern border. northern border of what? Mexico?
You mean Jefferson? The state of Jefferson?
Oh my god. Remember when we had to vote if we were going to split California into 3?
Yep. That was funny.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Why you gotta remind me that we're stupid? Why you gotta remind me that I hate everybody so much?
Because it brings me joy.
Oh, Christ.
So,
Christ.
So that was Cherokee. I'll talk to Kicker about the food choices, the menu choices for next year.
Get
he's too busy with
omelet
next
bar.
up, if you're keeping track of the FLG events, is Rocky Mountain Open, which is literally next week. So,
oh Jesus,
I'm not going to that.
Are you glad you're not judging that one? I wanted to go to it to play in it, but it's just too far.
Thomas is judging that one with some of the local guys.
Yeah, not our Thomas.
Thomas Ekstrom Oakley.
No,
yeah,
no. When I don't call Tom Thomas. I don't even think he calls himself Thomas. He goes by Tommy.
I'm gonna start doing
Tom. Yeah.
Or Tom.
I'm gonna start doing it.
You start calling him Thomas?
Start calling him Thomas.
Oh my god.
But only on Pod Save the Imperium episodes. All right, Thomas.
Because they're classy.
Oh, that's more. Yes, that's more dignified. Unlike this show.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas,
shouldn't you be calling me Daniel instead of Danny on that?
I mean, yeah, if you'd like.
No, I don't.
See, I'm gonna ask your opinion. I'm not gonna ask Tom's opinion. I'm just gonna do it.
I have 3 names for a reason. I'm Danny in my geek world. I'm Daniel at work, and I'm Dan to my family, and it makes everything easy because I know when someone messages me about like, "Hey Daniel, this is work bullshit." Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
versus, "Hey Dan, this is
I don't
a
have to
family
listen
member."
to you.
Yeah.
It does make it easy on your day off. Nope, don't have to listen to this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I get to ignore this message.
Cherokee's lots of fun. They figure it'll probably get bigger next year. So I highly recommend it. It's a little troublesome to get to because of its location between the airports, but
it's more like a destination event, though, right? Like you're going there to really like be away and like
and you are away, but you can do most things there.
Yeah, You were there to get away from whatever it is you're leaving behind.
Yeah. Mountains look nice.
Your
It
words.
looks beautiful.
Yeah. It was really nice. I like going.
You're there to get away from the wife who just found out about the girlfriend.
The girlfriend who just found out about the wife.
Yeah.
You mean the girlfriend that just found out about the other girlfriend?
Yeah.
Dang, man. That's a complicated life you lead.
Well, I am Mexican.
When you live your life via la pasión, it just takes you to different places.
There's a reason I travel so much.
He's got to see his other families spread out all over.
Oh
This
my
did
God.
not go the direction I was hoping, but it went in a direction that I'm fine with.
So
I hope this
guess
is the episode that Russell
next up
decides
is
to listen
Rocky
to.
Mountain. Hopefully, a lot of people go in there. It's sold out, as we mentioned.
Have I ever told you guys I always get Utah and Colorado mixed up?
What?
So in my
They're not even
mind,
the same shape.
so in my mind, when I'm traveling east, Colorado comes first.
Huh.
Somewhere along the way in my youth, I mixed them up in my head.
I'm gonna say
And so
'cause it
I've
starts with
always
a
had
C.
them mixed up in my head. So like I've driven through them multiple times, right? Like I mean I know which one's which. But every time I'm like, oh man, I should go to the Colorado or like the Rocky Mountain Open. Oh yeah, it's not that far. I could drive to it. And I'm like, nope.
Nope, Colorado's
Utah's
actually
first,
kind of
John.
far.
Yeah.
Utah comes first. You can't just.
That's why
go
you
to it.
fly. It's not that expensive to fly to Denver.
It's not, but I looked it up and I'm like, it's not quite worth it for 40K. This is why I don't play in most events that are not inside my state, because for the most part, it's not worth the flight to.
So, already
No,
looking
yeah,
forward
but-
to next year. So, moving on. While we were out, or while I was out, the Nerf Marines came out.
The Nerf shooter Marines?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They seem pretty good. It's just the models that look odd, is the way I'll put it.
I wish time. They look totally not like they're going to fall over to me. It's fine.
I know. I mean, we've all had those models anyway. That's why I put washers on the bases.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I did order a box, so.
Jeez. Of course you did.
For my kid. He
Oh,
loved
yeah, for
them.
your
He saw them.
kid.
He did. He saw them. He thought they were freaking the greatest thing ever. Which I'm like, well, they know their demographic, I guess.
I mean, the Dreadnought looks cool. And
Dreadnought looks sick.
people are saying it's going to be pretty good in like White Scars, Danny,
Ooh.
because it
I
can
might
run
have to
advance
borrow.
and charge, right? That's one of their things.
Yep. That's what's
And I
what
think
makes
it.
them somewhat
I
workable.
think it moves 12.
That's
Oh,
the
damn,
rumor I
really?
heard.
If it moves, dog. If it moves 12,
Right?
that's. I need 3 of those then for my White Scars army.
Alan, Battle for LA is 5 games.
It's 5 rounds because I don't want to stay late on Sunday.
Yeah, cool.
Because we're normal people.
Or people with shit to do.
Yeah, so I think the only thing. Well, I mean the Devastator guys are fine. They have an indirect fire,
The super crack missiles.
super crack and super frag.
Yeah.
Super fragging.
So
I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
so-
I'm waiting for
Yeah.
that Vashtar or whatever box.
Why not?
the what? Oh, the Dark
with
Angel
Vash, Vashtor or whatever
Chaos
his name
box.
is.
Yeah, we don't
With,
know when that's coming.
that,
Well,
that comes with the new Azrael, right?
yeah,
I believe so.
yeah, it does.
I'm gonna have
the
to buy that
Primaris
for everyone.
Azrael.
Yeah, I'll have to get that for Azrael. You want the Vashtar guy right out of that box, Danny?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So when I get the one for Edwin, I'll give you the Vashtar dude.
That I believe that comes out probably later this month. I mean, I don't know anything, but only because the Angron book was last and the Vastor's next, the next book.
I mean, none of us know anything, so it's fine.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Thanks, GW.
Damn.
I want to say thank you for their wonderful game system that I have devoted a lot of my life and time and resources into, and I want to thank them for making that possible. Right?
Right.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
I'm coming up on my 30th anniversary of this game, so you know.
Oh man, I started playing in 90. I want to say 98. What am I coming up on then? Nothing. 2098 to 2023. That's nothing, right? I gotta wait till 2025.
I'm not going to name it.
Or 2020 will be 30.
All I'm going to say is I was in high school.
Mine was 93, so.
Yeah, the third number is mine is an 8.
Yeah, because I remember.
The game wasn't around. In the
I remember
80s.
using some of my birthday money, my 10th birthday money, to get it.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, to get the second edition box set with my buddy.
Yeah, my box set. My first box set was third edition box set.
Yeah.
I bought the
Rogue Trader. We know.
Epic Space Marine first.
Epic was so cool.
And then I bought Rogue Trader when I was a freshman in college. I can't remember.
Damn, you old, son.
We've all covered this.
But I also bought the third edition Fantasy Regiments box. But I didn't know it was Games Workshop at the time. I just thought, hey, cool, I get a bunch of 60 models for like $30 or whatever.
Right.
You just decided to buy random crap.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like that since we've known him, so I'd imagine that wasn't recent.
Why would you think I didn't?
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, the box came with, it was 10 Dark Eldar, 10 Wood Elves, 10 Goblins, 10 Orcs, 10 Dwarves, and 10 Skaven.
That's a lot.
It was like a sampler pack.
That's pretty cool. That's a lot. My first fantasy box was the Lizardmen versus Bretonnians. Because I wanted the Lizardmen. Yeah.
Yeah. I got that box too.
That was like
I had other stuff, but like... Yeah.
No,
they were
the
all
knights were
metal,
plastic.
right?
Yeah.
They were?
Those plastic knights. It was all plastic box.
Yeah.
I had I remember one of my favorite models for a long time was the old metal, the Triceratops, what is it? The Stegodon.
Oh, okay.
That was like one of my most prized possessions for a long time.
Yeah. The box I got with that sampler pack had, cool as a stat, which I didn't know what the fuck that meant. That's how I know it was like third or fourth edition box.
Right.
Because and we just made up what those meant in our game. So
yeah.
Nice.
I was only like, what year was that? I'm not gonna say how old I was. I was just. All right.
It's okay to be advanced in age, Adam. Don't be ashamed.
So Danny's buying 3 Brutalis Dreadnoughts for his Gaspard's army.
I have one, so I need 2 more.
He needs 2 more.
You know, if anyone wants to give let a brother know.
Donate.
Yeah.
To the cause.
Make my White Scarred army good. Because they have the auto 6 advanced strat, so you can do the 12 becomes 18, and then they can charge on top of 1.
Jesus Christ!
Just quick, like, here you go.
Why you gotta play jank?
It makes me happy.
You're just noticing that.
It's a peaceful life.
I didn't say I just noticed it. I said why. Because it's a peaceful life.
It's like, what do you play? Just bullshit.
That's fair. I mean, that's totally fair and valid.
Yeah.
Why you play this shit? Because it brings some peace.
Yeah, I'm just Galen Urso. It's a peaceful life. With like my 2 King of Beers and Angron army, right?
That is like one of my favorite scenes from Star Wars of all time.
It is a really good scene on many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also you forget what Star Wars is like when they have a movie full of good actors.
Yeah, real actors?
Right, yeah. Actually good actors. It's like, oh, yeah. Damn, let them cook.
So, Searly Harbor, I can't pronounce that, is asking how old we are. I think Tom's the youngest at 12.
Mind your business?
Yeah. Where am I from? A little place called None of Your Fucking Business.
That's how we keep our new listeners.
Yeah, I know.
I am
just
active
we
hostility.
have new listeners?
I've never seen his name before.
We have listeners?
We're super niche. Yeah.
I didn't know we had listeners. I'm 38.
Really?
I am just about to turn 40.
John. Salty John is 38. Yes.
Danny is just about to turn 40.
Yeah. Tom is the baby at 30, 32?
He's like the early 30s.
Yeah.
He's early 30s.
Yeah, but he's not 30.
32?
Like, only like 32, dog.
I think he's like 33.
And he has 5 kids already.
Yeah.
Like one every other year.
This is why we're also the internet's only Catholic 40K podcast.
Tom is proving that point very well, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
We are the internet's only Catholic 40K podcast.
John's trying to catch up to Nick Cannon.
You mean Tom, yeah.
Tom, not John.
Not me. Don't. What are you doing? Bro?
Don't put that evil.
Don't you dare manifest that bullshit on me.
I mean, I personally know I have one.
We always clarify that you know of.
Yes, I know. Just like I'm pretty sure I have a brother or sister in Vietnam somewhere, probably. An older brother or sister.
All right. It's confession time on TFG Radio.
That's my dad's confession, not me. I mean, he was in Vietnam, so. That's
we have another first-time chat. Nice.
I like how Adam
I like it when the new people talk.
I like Adam conveniently is not answering. To my knowledge, Adam's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually know how old Adam is. So
yeah, I'm 10 years older than you are.
Yeah, we worked this out. You're a decade older than me. Like,
almost
to the day.
Decade seems older than 10, if I say 10.
Yeah. But it's almost to the day, which is what's funny.
Keep track, except my wife keeps track, so she keeps reminding me how old I am.
Nice.
There was this.
In the, I almost want to say mid 20th century, but late 20th century.
Yeah, no, not mid. Mid 20th century is like my dad.
Yeah, no, it's my dad too.
It's the 50s.
Yeah.
No, my dad was 45. 1945.
Oh shit.
My dad
call that mid.
My dad's 50. I'll be 50 in May, so.
My parents barely qualify as boomers.
See, I just always thought it was funny. There was a certain point where me, Adam, and Brandon Kading when we were all playing at the same time, were the stair steps of we were each a decade older than the other, like by a couple of days, right? Like not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was always funny with Brandon around.
Yeah,
and then if you get Ish in the mix too.
Oh my god!
When Ishmael was like a kid playing.
Oh yeah. Good times. Well, hi, new people. This is mostly how our shows go.
Yeah, we like you new people.
Yeah.
Coming in and saying,
there you go. There's our ages. Now you can take all our information.
Right.
Our bank accounts.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Getting anything out of mine, guy. I play Warhammer.
First of the month.
Yeah.
We all play Warhammer. Have fun. Not getting any of our money. GW gets all our money.
Yeah. All I have to say is get in line, buddy. All right.
Yeah. Right.
We also got the guard FAQ. Funny enough.
Did we though?
Was there anything of note in there that was actually
technically we did.
They took care of the Casterkin problem, right?
By Raw, they did put out an FAQ.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
They did not take care of the Casterkin problem because apparently there is no Casterkin problem.
Yes,
working as intended.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Nice. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I applaud you, sir.
Thank you. Tom,
that was smooth, too. Like, real smooth.
It was very smooth.
They did not allow the units to take the same weapon more than once per unit.
Okay.
Oh, man. That was a huge problem.
Yeah.
I'm glad they cleared that up. These are not the Casterkin you're looking for.
Look, those are new models. They're hard to source. They're not going to nerf them yet.
I know, right?
And they need one more production run.
They don't need to be nerfed. Clearly, they didn't even bother to adjust it. It's definitely balanced. 100%.
Guard,
you can trust me.
So Harbor, because I can't say the first part, is asking how Guard is looking at the moment. like I mentioned, they were top 8 at Cherokee. He did have the 3 of the Rogel Dorn tanks, and he was showing off his Dorn hole the whole time.
No.
Excuse me, sir. This is a family podcast.
No,
this is the
Catholic.
Only Catholic 40.
That does not mean it's a family podcast.
Excuse you. My goodness.
So I guess they did. What else did he have? He did have the Castrican. And basically what he did, from what I understand, is run one tank up each flank and then one up the middle and see if you can deal with them. And obviously he did very well with them. So
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna run them up the flank and the door holes, then you're gonna do pretty well.
Jesus.
yeah, so nothing exciting in the Astra Militarum FAQ.
I mean, Guard's in a weird spot where they do have some bad matchups, but they're also really good against demons, so, like, which is a pretty hot meta army still. So, like, I think Guard are definitely capable of winning. It's just really how many high-level players are actually playing Guard at the moment, right? Like,
they also represent some other armies' really bad matchups.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're a total spoiler. They will. And I mean, as of right now,
most.
playing World Eaters, the last thing I want to see is Guard, because I have, no way to get around their shit.
If I was playing my Deathwing list, I don't care, because you can't kill me. I can hide, and your mortars can't do anything. And, like, if your Dorn tanks get within, like, an angle range, then I'm probably able to assault you, so who cares? It's a trade. But Eldar, dude, I don't want to see Astra Militarum if I'm playing my Eldar list. I'm just going to chew through those one wound models. Like, no way.
Yeah, you talk about the virtues of your Deathwing, yet you're still not playing them.
It's
Whatever,
true.
because they're technically my sons.
I still don't see a problem.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
See, this is what we should do on Tuesday. If you don't have a game lined up, you should play the Dark Angels against my World Eaters. So you can so you'd be like, I think this is better. So I just continually bounce off you over and over again.
I mean, we can try that. That's fine. Considering for the Eldar, I'd have to build, like, still 4 boxes of stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm working on my battle list, and I don't have that much to, like, build and paint, but I'm still like, oh, God, I gotta do this now.
Right.
And build some stuff at Thesis, too.
We also got the Forge World book was updated.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically gave the same update as you got for 1,000 Suns and
Death Guard.
Death Guard. So now everybody can, and everyone should take a Dreadclaw, in my opinion.
Thinking about it. Thinking about audibly to the Death Guard.
Why would you take a Dreadclaw?
Because it's the only drop pod that Chaos has access to.
Well, why do you need it? What is the virtue of the Dreadclaw?
You put 10 Berserkers in it, you give them the icon, and there's a stratagem that allows you to roll 3 dice, drop the lowest on charging out on the charges. And depending on Blood Tithe, you can have was it +1 to advance charge, Danny?
+1 to charge.
Oh, so +1 to charge.
You need an 8. Yeah.
So you need 8 on 3 dice to drop the lowest. In theory, you should be able to make it.
You make it more times than not. Like, it actually
and then if they
happen
to, if they're foolish enough to overwatch you, you can get closer.
Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I mean, I do have a Dreadclaw and I have Berserkers, so.
I know. I may have to convert one of my 5 remaining Black Legion Dreadclaws into a World Eater Dreadclaw.
Oh no!
Just
so
paint some red on the black.
Left.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Thank you for explaining to all of our listeners, by the way, why the Dreadclaw is good.
You're welcome, John.
Yeah. Every episode, someone's first show.
It's true. There's like 2 first show people in this one. Just in the Twitch chat alone.
Yeah,
so,
I mean...
Go ahead, Danny.
I was going to say, my only disappointment with the Forge World FAQ update is that nothing that you take gains Blood Tithe. because like dread claws or even termites are so good if they get like +1 to hit. Right, like all of a sudden, like your vehicles can actually, some of those vehicles can start.
Oh yeah, they don't
pretty
benefit
good.
from it, but they still contribute to blood type points.
Yes, they give up blood types. Everything does. It's just they don't get the benefits, so they don't get the +1 to charge. They don't get +1 to hit. They don't get exploding sixes. Blah blah blah.
I mean, in all honesty, my Dreadclaws are just to drop off berserkers and then get killed, which is usually what happens anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. No, the Dreadclaws.
I mean, that's what drop pods do too.
Yeah. Well, yours doesn't fight though. The Dreadclaw does.
No, it does not.
It's actually not that bad. And once I tell them what the Dreadclaw does in close combat, because unlike the Space Marine drop pod, the Dreadclaw can actually move afterwards, and it can actually charge on the turn it drops in. And it's only 4 attacks, hits on 4s, strength 12. I think it's -4 or 3 damage.
Yeah, it hits pretty hard against certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't want to put it into just like a chaff unit, but hey.
Or to tie up a unit or to take Overwatch or something.
The really nice thing about the Dreadclaw Berserker Bomb is that if you go second and they like gun down Angron and a spawn, you now have enough to proc the +1 to charge, so your first turn you're still getting into combat because you're dropping the Dreadclaw with the Berserkers who now need an 8. Roll 3 dice, drop the lowest, right? And with a reroll that's like 68 or just shy of 70% hit rate, which is about as reliable as you're going to get.
Yeah. So you might. So if you don't already, you're probably going to see a lot of Dreadclaws in the future.
I might do that. I'm
painted red.
I'm thinking about it. It would mean I'd have to paint a couple of less models if I did it. Which I'm like,
whatever happens,
maybe I do that.
Whatever gets your army on the table quicker.
I mean, I'm working on it right now. So. I mean, if that was the case, then I would just take Angron and 2 Lord of Skulls and spawn.
I thought you tried that already.
I haven't played with that yet. I kind of want to, but I mean, I guarantee I go like 1 and 4.
He just keeps throwing that same army into our chat over and over.
Yeah.
Saying he wants to try it.
Because it's fun?
I know. I usually ignore it. Anytime I see it's an army list, I usually just ignore it in our chat.
Yeah, well, you ignore me anyway.
It's true.
Till you need me.
He ignores me all.
Well, it's not just you, Danny. It's when Tom does too, so because he spams with the Grey Knights.
Yeah.
So it's not just you. It's everybody.
Although, if those brutalists...
It's actually everybody. I don't listen to any of you guys. I don't look at any of your guys' lists whenever I post them.
You know.
Garrick Quinn says, how do all you Catholic dudes play the Devil's Spawn? Bet you eat meat on Fridays. I don't play Chaos at all, man. What are you talking about?
You play Chaos Knights, John.
Well, they're knights. They can just be Chaos.
There's a couple of them that are actually Chaos Knights, but yeah, for the most part, they're not.
It's basically
I only eat meat on Fridays if my wife forgets and cooks the meat on Fridays.
Well, you have to remember we're all different levels of
Catholic
piety. Is it pious? I don't know what the word.
Sure.
is.
Practicing.
No, it's there's a word for it. What is the word for it?
Tom apostate.
Tom would know.
Apostate.
Yes.
Apostate. Tom would know because he's our top tier Catholic.
Yes. He is our most Catholic.
So if we ranked our Catholicism. So Tom would be S tier.
Yep.
Yeah.
John would probably be what, A, I guess.
Yeah.
A or B.
I mean, he works at
A or B because I know, and then I would be.
I'm in there. I'm in there near the top.
I'm at C probably, and Danny's at like
apostate.
Danny's in the doldrums.
Yeah. Danny's in the bottom tier.
I mean, if they actually
that's where he
me
wants
an official. Yeah. If they gave me an official letter of excommunication, I'd frame that shit.
Yeah. You get all
okay, yeah, you're bottom tier because the rest of us would be kind of like, oh man. I think I messed up, guys.
No, I think I would be okay with it. It's my mom who would like freak.
Yeah.
And ask what I did because I wouldn't tell her.
Yeah, see, I'd probably be like, oh man, I done messed up.
We recently had a family gathering, it was last month for my brother's birthday, and my brother-in-law, who's getting his master's in psychology, was doing a project talking to us about our immigrant experience and being. But at one point, we were talking about our parents, and I told a story about my dad, how he got into a fight when he went to go pick me up from work when I was like 16 or whatever. And I won't go into it here. It's a good story though. But at the end of it, long story short, my dad got punched in the jaw, didn't phase him, and basically told the guy, "You're gonna have to hit me harder than that." And then the guy started running around the parking lot. And my dad spent the next like 10-15 minutes chasing him. Couldn't catch him. But at the end of all that, he told me not to tell my mom, and I didn't. Next morning, his jaw was all hurting and everything. So I told the story, and I look at my mom, and I'm like, "Don't you remember me telling you this? Like, I thought I had told her, but apparently I hadn't told her."
Because you're a good Catholic son.
Well, because I'm a good son, and I do what my dad tells me. Because I just saw him get punched in the...
honor their father and mother just like the Jews.
Because I just saw him get punched in the face and not get fazed by it.
Right.
But apparently I didn't tell her, so she wasn't even 30. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's almost 40, 35 years later, more or less. She was still not happy about after hearing the story.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why. That just kind of describes the way parenting used to be in general, of just like, all right, okay, don't tell mom.
Yeah. Well, I think people still do that.
Yeah.
But
I definitely don't. That's a quick way to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what my dad told me.
I probably raised 2 narcs, that's why.
Oh, man, we'll see. That sounds like a personal failing.
Yep. Yeah, so that's our levels, probably our tiers for Catholicism or practicing. I'm the usual Easter, Christmas Catholic.
Nice.
Moving on.
What else we got to talk about?
We have like I said, Rocky Mountain's coming up in next week. That's getting settled. Everyone should have got their token already. If not, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
I'm sure.
If those that don't know, I actually will be at Adepticon at the end of this month, helping them with the 40K event.
Look at you, fancy lad.
Swank it.
Yes. I'll be there. I'll be there the whole weekend, more or less, helping with the judging there. I get a day off on Friday to walk around, which should be kind of neat. I've never been.
I gotta talk to somebody. They're giving you a day off.
I've never been. I was planning to go the year the shutdown happened for COVID, and they canceled Adepticon the first time in 2020. I was supposed to play in the team event, but
stupid COVID was ruining everything.
That got canceled along with everything else, and so I am very much looking forward to going and doing that. I already helped with Nova, so this will be the third of the big 3 that I've judged or helped judged, and I'm really looking forward to it. See everybody that I know will be there, and more importantly, I just want to see the spectacle that is Adepticon, because there are a lot of events going on at Adepticon. So,
well, I hope Shatterpoint is there for a preview, and you can play it. And
Shatterpoint is there for preview. See how it looks. I noticed that AMG, the guys who write the rules for all the games now, they're coming out with basically a combat patrol version of Legion, and I don't understand why they would do that.
People like smaller games; they're easier to get into.
I guess.
Secret ingredient is money, Adam.
Yeah, but you're using the same models from Legion. Well, I guess you're also doing that with Kill Team. So,
I mean, I would, now I can play Wookiees, so I would be more interested in that. Just saying.
Right, so Danny likes hairy models. Confirmed. So I'll be there. Be sure to say hi if you're in the 40K area. And as we get closer to the event, I'll have more information. But yeah, so that's that. And then immediately the weekend after I get back is our local event, Battle for LA. We're currently at, I believe, 32 players signed up. So it's actually a pretty good showing.
Yeah, which, knowing our area, will explode like a week before.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Well, we'll see, because we haven't... GW hasn't put out their next wave, I guess you can call it, of golden tickets, so... I'm curious if we have... I applied for both Battle for LA and Hammer Wrath, so hopefully we'll get at least one of those. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Hammer of Wrath, just the longest running GT in LA, you know. Second largest city in the country.
Now that other one is gone, the San Diego one, it's the longest running one in Southern California.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now that Broadside's gone, yeah.
Hey, we got another first time chatter.
Hey. There you go.
It goes Soul Caris. Cool.
What?
See you later, Sear Lay Harbor.
No, I already mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, but he said goodbye.
Oh, okay,
later, man.
Oh, somebody has a lore question.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
Something in Chaos Demons invaded this faction's world, but the faction was kicking the Chaos Demons' butts. Treated back to the world. So, okay. Well, that sounds like 40k and not fantasy, so what's the question? That does sound like 40k and not fantasy.
No, it could be fantasy because the Age of Sigmar has the gates and the realm
the realm gates.
Yeah, the realm gates.
Yeah,
you can go from one of the realm gates into the Chaos Realm.
Oh.
Yep.
He's asking what faction was it that did that.
They continue to find the chaos. Probably orcs.
Yeah.
Orcs don't care. They'll follow you back into the warp and keep crumping.
There's a lot. I mean, yeah. There's actually several times where the orcs have basically done that.
Yeah.
I think the most famous one is the orc ship that gets stranded in the warp in Korn's planet, and they just basically
Korn
fight.
just brings them back to life.
They fight every day and die to the last, and then come back, and they're the happiest orcs that have ever lived, and they believe they have found heaven.
So Kara Quinn is mentioning that the Rocky Mountain Open does not have a golden ticket, and the reason for that is because it's the first year. And I kind of get it, because otherwise people would just be creating events.
To try and get them.
To just try to get the ticket. So,
I mean...
he says he remembers it wasn't orcs. It could be... If you're looking 40k, are you talking about... was it Crow that's in the warp?
Yeah, I mean...
Castell and Crow?
Yeah, which Grey Knight is in the warp?
No, that's
Drago.
That's Drago.
Oh, Drago. Okay.
Drago's like almost permanently.
He wants to know if it was Lizardmen, Danny. You would know that.
Oh, from fantasy, the old lore. I'm trying to think of the time the Lizardmen followed them through the warp.
Could be Stormcast.
I think there's. Nah, I mean Stormcast have gone in. I'm trying to remember a time when Stormcast gone in. It might be Lizardmen, just because in the old fluff of the old fantasy stuff, Lizardmen are the mortal enemies of chaos, like because they're order. But I'm trying to think. I think there was an old story from like a long time ago in fantasy, like 6th, where I think it's Mazda Mundi orders an expedition through basically into the Chaos Realm, into the Northern Waste, to try and like annihilate them, and it's like, oh shit, that went bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, like my bros died.
Yeah.
It's like when they sent those chapters of Space Marines into the Eye of Terror.
Right, and they're like, oh no,
as punishment.
It's like the Teutoburg Forest. Where are my legions?
I'm trying to think, yeah.
So,
that reminds me of my...
So right now we're actually at 40 players.
Oh, see?
Nice.
I should probably buy a ticket or something.
Keep on taking...
God,
I already bought mine.
Yeah, John and Tom have bought theirs. Danny.
I bought mine because if I don't buy it and then it gets close, I'll be like, whatever, it's fine. You guys got enough people.
No,
I know how I
want to play and get my ass kicked, but...
We should know thyself, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Sounds very Catholic.
That doesn't sound Catholic at all.
No. Catholicism is not at all about know thyself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so.
Pretty sure I heard it somewhere. I don't know. I went
Pretty
to
sure
Catholic school.
I'm pretty sure it's obey your parent.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Give generously.
So our tournament's in April. I believe I'll be at BAO, which is Memorial Day weekend. Only 2 days, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
So everyone gets to travel home on Monday, as God intended. And after that, I get a nice break after I count our tournament as a break because I get to stay home.
Right.
So after Adepticon, I get a nice break until BAO, and then after that, in June, I'll be going to ACO and helping with that, and then I believe that's it. Oh man, I know there's something else. I think that's it for me. They haven't announced dates for the September tournament, so I may go or may not.
Oh, for the one that's supposed to be, what's it called?
The one where
team
the
tournament,
team
but it might
tournament.
not be the team tournament.
Yeah, the one the team tournament was in September. So
If team tournament, that could be a team tournament, but might not be a team tournament.
yeah, if that happens, I'll probably go because it's just Vegas, so it's a quick turnaround.
Right.
Depending on September, I might go to that too.
Yeah,
I can
and
either
then
help
I won't be at
or
SoCal, so we'll have to
play.
find someone else to judge.
Which is
I'll
probably
be in
me.
I'll be in Mexico for a wedding, so sure.
Me again, and you all, the people who come and play, will ditch me because they don't do well on Sunday, or they're
They don't do well enough to be there on Sunday.
yeah.
No, it's only 2 days.
No, it's only 2 days.
They're not.
They
doing
just,
They're only doing the 3 days at ACL and Cherokee, I think, and LVO, obviously.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
every place else is just a 2 day. I'm pretty sure Rocky Mountain's a 2 day also.
That's good.
So
The 3
busy
days.
year.
There's too many 3 days. There's too many.
yeah, because then after that's LVO. We start all over again with LVO. So
LVO. Yeah.
so busy
Can we
year.
not talk about it already? I mean, come on, man. It was just over.
We got to start planning, John. You know how it goes. Soon as it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as it's over. Just a few. I think that's about it. Before we do that, let's go ahead and do the drawing for the Angron.
Angron for our patrons.
Let
Give
me
away
get
prizes on this show?
my list up. So everyone got a ticket depending on the dollar amount.
These listener people sure are spoiled.
I am starting. Danny's the one spoiling them.
I'm a generous person.
Yeah, you
It's
are
true.
a generous.
It's true.
guy.
You are. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the dice
I'm a
is
giver.
spinning. Danny, since you're the one that proposed this,
Mm-hmm.
just tell me when to stop.
No.
All right, tell me when to stop again. That number was too high.
We're professionals.
I was waiting for someone to laugh now.
Dead air is not good, Danny. I need you to tell me.
He did. He said it now.
I said
He
now.
stop.
I was waiting for someone to laugh, so go.
Oh my god.
All right, the winner is Adam Volrath.
Oh, hey.
Oh, cool.
Nice. One of our longtime patrons.
I thought
So,
you were going to say
Adam,
Adam from Laverne.
If you listen to this, I'll just send you a message anyway. Send us a message with your address, and we will send you the Angron. Actually, the store will send it. It was kindly provided by
Yes.
Gameology Pasadena. So
What a great website.
which now we roll into our sponsors, which you go to gameologygames.com. Their website, they have everything and anything and everything you can find, hopefully, depending on how the shipments come in. But they'll also ship to anywhere in the U.S. Just go ahead and check them out. Also, check out the Shark Tank at Hammerhead Games. You can just go to hammerheadgames.net and check out what deals they have. I believe Tony has a special announcement soon.
He does.
Regarding the store.
Should be exciting.
I'm assuming he's moving again because he seems to be always moving to a bigger and better store. So,
Whatever you got to do, right?
Business is good.
So we'll see. But both of those are our sponsors. We hope to have other news in the foreseeable future, but once those deals are worked out, we can maybe talk about it. But for right now, we'll just have to leave you in suspense.
Mm-hmm. K.R. Quinn wants to know if it was a Patreon thing.
Yes.
Our giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.
Yeah. When the Combat Patrol box for World Eater comes out, maybe I'll snag an extra one to give away as a general thing.
Fine. Whenever that's released, because that's what I'm waiting on to finish my army. Is the Combat
I know.
Patrol.
Because apparently it's one of the better Combat Patrol boxes.
Yeah, because it's actually useful.
Yeah.
I just need tools.
Everything in there is good.
So, other than that, we do have a question in the Patreon.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we have a Patreon group. If you join it, we apparently give you free models.
Yeah, we had two new people join recently. It was one of them was, I think, Stone Master 5000, Stone Mason 5000. I forget.
Power Man 5000. That was a
that's fun.
90s new metal band.
Yeah. So, just $5 a month. Just go to patreon.com and look up TFG Radio. Not hard to find. And as you can tell, Danny likes to give stuff away. So
he sure does.
Well, when it comes to World Eaters or Tyranids, yeah.
Yes, you're probably going to get a World Eaters or Tyranids.
Because Danny buys everything in triplicate for those armies.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. Find it commendable, sir.
So we do have a question.
Which is?
One of it is an actual rules question from actually K.R. Quinn.
Uh-oh.
Does the Arca Omen's heroic support strat actually supersede codex restrictions? Like Custodes can only have one of each type of shield captain in a detachment for 1 CP. He says, I don't think so. Friends like Chester, etc. don't think so. But what's the ruling from FLG events? I believe that you can do it. That's the whole point of the strat.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm bringing it up right now.
So, I feel like that's the point of it. Yeah, I think
because you can't take a second detachment anymore. I think the point in which, because it's usually the limitation is 1 per detachment. So the heroic support strat
literally says if a detachment ability would limit the number of times you can include a unit in that detachment to 1, you can include a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the entire. Yeah, that's the entire point of that. Right?
Yeah, that's why you're seeing. Like I know Harpster's list had 2 Demon Princes in it. You know, for his Zinch list. So it helps supersede that, because that's an issue if you're only if you're only limited to the 1 detachment. So,
right.
Yeah.
Any other questions in chat? That's all I got from the Facebook group. What if you do become a member of a Patreon? There's this Facebook group, because we're all old boomers, so we use Facebook groups still instead of Discord.
Whatever. These young kids, they're TikTokers.
They're hockety tickety. So where you can ask us more questions or show off your stuff.
Yeah, we got
Battlescribe allows it, K.R. Quinn, because I've done it.
Yeah, it does.
I haven't tried it in Battlescribe.
We'll have to check it later. We'll try it tomorrow and see. Daniel will try it tomorrow. He likes to build lists.
Yeah, that's all.
I really
Daniel
do. I'm
does.
building one right now.
I'm
building one right now.
So, I don't think we have. I don't think we have any questions in the chat. Oh, no. Maybe it's a Custodes thing. I might be the whoever wrote the file for Custodes probably didn't do it.
Maybe because I'd have to probably see the exact wording of the rule, because it might not be you can only
it could be that,
but that's certainly possible.
It is possible.
Anything's possible.
We must investigate further.
It's true.
Yeah. Unsure. Please ask again later.
Yourself and try hard.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm making the dumbest list imaginable. I love it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Don't forget also our Podcast Alliance as we wait for Danny, which includes obviously TFG Radio, Pod Save the Imperium, which should have, by the time you hear this, the new episode should already be out. What's the other one? Oh, Flying Monkey, Wargaming Podcast, if you want to know about the Midwest scene. And if you're interested in Age of Sigmar, there's Party at the All Points. So, if you saw the man in the gold, with the gold skin at OVO,
yes,
that was Dayton Lord from Party at the All Points.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I think we'll call it there.
Nick? Yep.
Oh wait, you don't want to hear my BS list?
Did you find it?
No.
I mean,
What?
do we? No, his BS list that he just came up with right now.
Sorry, all right, well, fine. Be that way.
That could be your final
What'd you come up with?
thought. Real quick, Danny. Danny's BS.
No, that's fine.
This is what we have to live with throughout the days, guys. Except that luckily it's in
So
written form,
a corn detachment, a corn detachment. So no cool abilities anywhere, but
Sure.
Angron, Lord of Skulls, Super Thirster, Abaddon, and then 3 spawn and some corn dogs. That's
I
it.
thought you couldn't take Abaddon. I thought we figured that out.
Oh wait, no, you can't. I can't take
Can't
Abaddon
take
with
Abaddon.
Angron because they're both Supreme Command. All right, well then it'd probably just
you
be a
can't take
Bloodthirster or Scarbrand.
Bellicor in a Chaos Space Marines list either, right? We found that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Jeff.
Okay, so now it's just Scarbrand.
There we go. Okay, so
Either way, bad list, but I might play this at I might play this at Battle.
oh my god.
What?
Okay.
I want to have
Well, on that sad note,
anyway. Play games,
Danny,
be nice to
any
each other.
other last words besides your list?
Play games, be nice to each other.
Especially, yes. All right, John.
Bring back the 5-round tournament. No more 6 rounds. No more 6 rounds Sunday. Use OGW. It's better. We don't have to have it undefeated. It's fine.
Well, now GW is doing 8 rounds or 9 rounds or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
You're part of
It's
the problem,
terrible.
John. Be part of the
How am I
solution.
part of the problem? I don't make any decisions. I just show up sometimes and judge. We're not in the decision-making process. It's not my fault.
All
It's
right,
easier to
everybody.
say that, though.